There's not a public packet over here. I don't see any public packet.
Call meeting in order. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Disclosure of actual or potential conflicts of interest. There are none. Okay. Communication from the public. There was a piece of paper that was with this as you signed in, and it has our policy as far as communication with the public. You have basically 5 minutes for public participation, and I want to impress on you that do not use names of students and or faculty members in your comments, because that's something that they are protected. So with that, we will start with the sheriff with the topic to be addressed would be SRO.
I'm Sheriff Earl, for those who don't know me, but I'm here to bring up the school resource officer for the school. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are on that, but me, I think we need one. With all the fighting, the drugs going on, I'm a big believer in that. I'm willing to help you guys if you're willing to help me get one lined up. You know, I'll be in charge of sending them to training to the academy. They'll do a DARE program for 2 weeks, which teaches drugs to the kids. All I need for you is just help pay for the resource officer. And even talking with Sarah, you know, I think we definitely need one here. So I don't know what you guys' thoughts are. That's why I'm here for tonight. I planned to try to get here earlier, but I was first year sheriff. I wanted to get in, do my job. So, but I'm here now. They probably won't, if you guys allow it, they probably won't start till next fall. Because I got to hire somebody, get them trained. And, but they'll be under you guys, but they'll be under my direct supervision. So, if there's any questions or?
Could you just explain your thought process and how you think the direct supervisor, the pay, how all that's going to work out?
Well, during school hours, he'll be under you guys, but he'll be under my supervision. But he'll be working for you guys, but under my supervision because I get him trained. I'll have to discipline him if he or she does something during the school hours. I'll have to do the discipline because he or she will be a deputy if one comes around. But you guys will be control of that individual. It'll just be under my office. They'll be at every sporting events, basketball, football, wrestling, volleyball, summertime, free time. They can help me cover more of the county. But during school time, they're going to have an office at the school. They're going to be at the school, all the schools. During the day, they're going to walk school property. They're going to intervene with the kids. They're going to get along with the kids. That's what, to prevent, drugs coming to school, fighting going on, bullying. I heard it's been going on too, so that's pretty much. But they'll be armed. They'll be carrying a gun, uniform throughout the day.
Visiting with a couple of board members with this, what I think that the board's probably going to do, we're going to put on our agenda for our March meeting for discussion on this, and we would invite you to,
Okay.
To come back for that.
Yeah. Well, I planned on trying to get it earlier, but my first year as sheriff, I had so much going on that I had to get used to the office. I had to get to run out of sheriff.
So we will put that on our discussion in our March meeting. Definitely invite you to come back for that discussion.
Okay, that's fine. I was
Okay.
just bringing it up, so.
All right.
Thank you.
We appreciate it very much. Thank you. Next, Rick May, and it would be on weighted GPA.
So those got removed from the school. I was just wondering why, and if that could be added back on. It helps a lot of our students at the higher end get better dorms even, but actually even getting into college. And I know it's removed because some of the students went from a 4.6 to 4.0, and I just think it's a good thing to have. It helps kids get into college and help to get better placement. Is that something that could be added back in for next year, and why did it get removed?
Typically with weighted, when you implement things like that, typically it begins with your freshman class. You start it when you implement a policy like that, begins with your freshman class. That's the first group that starts with it, and then it just moves on each year, adding on to your classes. So I mean, typically that's what happens with it, is you begin with your freshman class. And in I guess in our school right now, and you can add Mr. Cabron, but typically we don't have a lot of, I think we have one identified AP class in our high school right now. And I think that's an AP English class. So, and that's an upper level class. So typically that's what happens. It begins with the freshman class and then moves on.
Was there something in and now it's removed so that it affected certain kids' GPA?
If it was, what's that?
Was it removed just recently or this semester? My daughter's GPA went from a 4.6 to a 4.0 because the weighted GPA was removed from the school, as I heard from her, and that's why I was just curious what happened and why that was taken
That
away.
I don't know. I guess you'd have to visit with the correct people to.
I think she
get
did.
that.
Mr. Kubron, do you have an answer on this? Or?
Well, I guess starting last fall, we went through the process of adding the weighted grades. That we had a handbook committee with 4 or 5 teachers. We thought it would be something that would be positive for the students to start to increase rigor. Eventually, it's starting out with a couple classes, but eventually getting to the place where we'd have honors classes, like an honors biology and regular biology, that kind of stuff. So encouraging the kids to take the more difficult class for their own future, for their own learning, increasing rigor. That was approved by me and the school board, and rolled out to the students at the beginning of this year in the handbook and in my beginning of the year speech. I guess the thought was, and correct me if I'm wrong, like you said, it was removed because they thought it should start with freshmen as opposed to, the whole 4 grades. So that was the thought behind removing it.
All right. Thank you, Rick. Okay, Anthony, on teacher resignation.
Yeah, I just wanted to make an observation here. I see on your agenda tonight you have 6 resignations, is that correct? And so, as a general member of the public, I have no students in the school district. I don't know what the history is in the district. Maybe you can help me out on that as to the number of teachers that have resigned currently this year, because I suspect that this is probably just the tip of the iceberg. I have heard throughout the general public that there possibly could be even more teachers possibly resigning by the end of the year. I don't know that for a fact, but that's some of the comments that I have heard. So I guess as a member of the public, I'd be a little bit concerned about our children with regards to the continuity of educators that are going to be within our school district this coming year. I am a firm believer that continuity is better than constant, turnover. Because obviously the information from that teacher is consistent throughout, time, dealing with the educators, the administrators, etc., rather than having new staff consistently coming in. I understand there's always going to be staff turnover. That's a given. But I guess I would like to know, how is this resignation of these 6 administrators and the principal, is my understanding, going to impact our students in the 2024-25 school year? I don't know if you can answer that question or not, but that's just a concern and an observation that I've noticed. Thank you.
Just to make one comment for that is that you have to take a look at, there are a couple of them that are
Retirement, yes.
Retirement, and that's the school district has no control over retirement.
That I understand.
And I think if you look farther down the line, as far as some of the older staff members that are here, not so much, I believe, in the high school, but more in the elementary area, you may find more of that.
But wasn't it, several years ago, didn't the school district lay off like 10 teachers? I recall that was probably many years ago because of budget cuts or something to that effect, or personnel. That was, if I recall, the biggest cut in the number of staff personnel that I recall.
I'd have to go back and look.
So we're already approaching that 10-figure number, if you will, and we've already got 6 resigning. I wouldn't be surprised if there's probably another 4 or 6 potentially that would resign yet by the end of the school year. And I don't know that. That's just an assumption on my part. But I'm kind of concerned as to how is that going to impact our children's education in the future, in the next coming year. For instance, South Dakota, as you know, has a shortage of teachers. We're 500 teachers short. How is that going to impact our school district here? We're already importing teachers, as you know.
As far as how it's going to impact, that's something that I really can't answer.
It's just a thought. It's a comment.
Yeah, right. I can surmise, and we're not the only school district.
Right.
In matter of fact, if you we remember the Three Rivers Co-op, and we deal with 5 separate school districts with that, and they're all having the same
Problems.
and we know it's there.
Right, but one of the things that I guess that concerns me is some of the feedback that I've received. I think it's more internal. And I would challenge the school board potentially to do an anonymous survey with their staff, teachers and so forth, even down to the lunch cafeteria as well. Find out what are some of the issues that potentially may be perhaps causing some of these resignations, perhaps early or premature or what have you. I don't know, but it doesn't hurt to always get down to the roots of potential problems in the district. It could be as simple as, available housing. That might be an issue that is perhaps driving some people away. I don't know. That's just a theory that I have. It could be something else. But I think it's worthwhile that the school district do some kind of anonymous survey with their with their personnel. I don't know when was the last time the school district did a survey with their personnel to find out, what's the working relationships like between, say, teachers and administrators and so forth. To me, as an administrator, I would want that feedback so I could do a better job at being either a principal or administrator on the school board.
You've raised some interesting thoughts and something that the board can definitely
Sure.
discuss.
Thank you.
We appreciate your input.
Well,
Okay, one item to add to the agenda, and that would be item 102.6 under resignations. 102.6 will be Riley Donovan. Okay, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So,
Motion by Scott, is there a second?
second.
Second by Dennis. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Scott, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Josh. Discussion. You have bills, you have anything? Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, administrative and committee reports. I just got a couple items. One, I do have a Viewers Co-op meeting coming up next week, I believe. I don't know, did we talk about the in-service, the combined in-service last month? Okay. They had the combined in-service with several schools, and from what I understand, that it went well. I think Julie, our director, did a good job setting it up. And listening to the other districts, they thought it went well too, and I think they're going to plan on trying to do it again. And maybe tweak it some, it's hard to say.
Julie's been working with us on getting a date similar on our calendar, which is kind of difficult for everybody, but so we can do the same thing next year. So we're planning it.
And the only other thing I have that, and it's going to affect Dallas, graduation, you will be handing out diplomas. I got to go to my granddaughter's graduation. So, man,
All right.
you're the man to hand out and shake their hands. Okay. And that's all I have. Any questions? Okay, Patrick.
Yes, so February 19th through the 23rd is South Dakota State or School Board Recognition Week. And since we moved our board meeting up, I just have a certificate of appreciation for all of our school board members and all the work that they do for the school district. Thank you. Thanks, Josh. Sometimes they kind of have a thankless job, so I appreciate them and all they do and their sacrifices for working as a Bennett County School District School Board member. The next thing I have is in your board packets is your first draft of the 24-25 school calendar, master calendar. I've shared this calendar with staff and asked them to share any recommendations for changes, but if you get to looking at the calendar, having Christmas and New Year's both fall on a Wednesday, it kind of creates some difficulties, and there's not a lot of room for changes when you have to get your 150 instructional days and your 159 teacher work days. So next month, if you have any suggestions, look it over. If you have any suggestions or anything like that, next month we will have it on the agenda for the board's approval. New middle school building update. Things continue to move quickly. They've been really fortunate in visiting with all the workers and the construction crews that the weather's been good. The Mason crew finished up. I don't know if you saw it, but the VC off the old building, they got it put on the front of the high school. It looks nice up there. That was one of the last things the Masons did before they left. They're working on the sheetrocking, the framework, the doorways, electrical and mechanical work right now. The state inspection of the electrical and mechanical is scheduled to start next week, and then they're going to start installing the remaining sheetrock in the building. The sheet metal is completed on the outside of the building with only the soffits and the trim work remaining to complete that. And then right now they're working on the tie-in process between the existing building and the new building. So, and they plan on in the next week or two, they're going to plan on putting in the remaining site utilities and the storm drainage and connecting it to the other one that runs over into the pond. So hopefully they're going to do that. So if you haven't stopped by there, I encourage you to. It's pretty neat to go in there and see the rooms and everything. And I think some of you have done that, but they're getting a lot done and they're on schedule, so that's good. Legislative update. The biggest news this week regarding educational bills in the legislature was House Bill 1250, which was the school voucher bill. It was smoked out and delivered to the House floor where the bill did not have enough support. So hopefully it did die, and we don't plan on seeing it back this session. The next big bill is House Bill 1048. That's the accountability bill. It was heard in the committee this morning, and then it had the latest version of it is now House Bill 1048E. There was only discussion today. They were going to hear it, but there was only some discussion and testimony today, and now they moved it to Wednesday, where they'll have more testimony and questions, and then they plan on having some action on Wednesday. The two major pieces of this House Bill 1048E now are moving the statewide minimum salary, and it was before this morning when it was just 1048. They were going to set that at 48,000, and one of the things with the amendment, they dropped that down to 45,000. I think 48 was a little bit steep for some districts to get to. So they did drop that down in the amendment today. So now it's set at 45,000. And then the second piece is that it would increase each year by the increase of the teacher target salary, which is set to begin in July 1 of 2026. And what this basically means is the minimum teacher salary starting July 1 of 2026 would have to be that 45,000. So those are a couple of the biggest things that are going on in the legislature right now. This is coming up Thursday through Saturday. I will be attending the National Superintendent's Conference in San Diego, California. Again, last year was the first year that I got to attend this conference, and it's actually one of the best conferences I've ever been to. There's bunches of sessions relating to topics such as, obviously this year, artificial intelligence and school safety, which is always a top of our priority. And then the conference also has things like they have little mini educational conferences, 1-hour educational sessions where you sit together with other superintendents and just discuss anything from like strategies, improving equity in education, educating the whole child, district performance things, and then things like social emotional wellness are some topics that I took note to. There's also roundtable discussions, again with superintendents across the country, where you just get to have the opportunity to network with those individuals and meet people from other places and see what they're doing. So looking forward to attending that conference. And that is all I have. Any questions?
Okay, thank you, Patrick. Craig.
Apologize for reading off my phone. I can't get my computer to connect to it for some reason. We'll talk about a few new classes we're going to offer next year. agricultural structures, which is a class that will build structures that people can use on their farms and ranches and sell those to the community at low price, enough to pay the cost and a little profit to move on to the next project. So that's something I'm pretty excited about. We're also offering plant science and animal science. So agriculture program is growing, which was the plan, so it's going well so far. The high school is in the middle of curriculum reviews for all of our science classes and our career exploration class and business class. Those should be done by the end of March. I'm giving a CNA update. The CNA state representatives that we work with say that our CNA progress is ahead of schedule, and they anticipate it will be done by the end of May. So that's good news. I did want to highlight a couple students this month. Junior Nisha Marshall was featured in Teen Voting magazine. She was talking about how to revive the Dakota language through the use of AI. And it's a really interesting article. I put the link in your report. Get a chance to read it. It's pretty good. Another is Claire Pearman. She served as a House of Representatives, South Dakota House of Representative age. There we go. For a week. She got to work with 2 representatives and do the page duties and learned a lot about how the government works and different initiatives that are going on there. And lastly, the JAG mid-year report, which I attached to my report, was all positive. Highlighted how far ahead we are of other districts in the state as far as our JAG program, how good our program actually is. You saw all the numbers there, so I won't repeat them, but they were really good. Ms. Connect's doing an amazing job taking over this year. And that also was highlighted in that report from the state. So we're proud of our JAG program. Any questions?
Questions? Thank you, Craig. Yeah.
Just a few of the things that aren't necessarily middle school news, but our one act play took 3rd place with several outstanding actors. Coming up, they're possibly working on a spring play, and also we'll be doing the freshman impact skit. That will be happening in April, and I just wanted to congratulate the students and Mrs. Getzinger because they did an amazing job. I did attend the delegate assembly in January, which focuses on the bills. So I was part of the secondary administrators group that spent some time looking and discussing the different bills affecting education and just where we stand with the group. Our Academics competition, we've been to 2 of them, January 31st and February 7th in Pierre and in Kadoka. Our kids are working really, really hard. They're excited because we are hosting on the 21st of February. We're trying to decide which building we're going to have it in, but we've got at least 10 teams attending so far, and so that's exciting. So if you want to come and see how the Olympics happens, it'll be in the afternoon of the 21st. Miss South Dakota will be the announcer there. We are also hosting a middle school Olympics night in our building on the 29th, and so our Olympics teams are going to take over and run it. And so we're going to have parents and students that will be participating just like our Olympics kids will be. So if anybody wants to participate in our Olympics and show us your knowledge, we'd love to have you. We're just working on interim assessments and math and ELA. Science doesn't have from the interim assessment site, but there's many different practice assessments that the state has given us information on. And so we're just practicing those different assessments in our classrooms periodically. And then just a parent-teacher conference update. We had about 42% of our parents come, which wasn't too bad considering it's spring. Spring conferences are usually down, and also with all the activities that were happening. So 42% wasn't too bad for what it was, and it was a pretty good turnout. It was pretty consistent the whole time. And then just want to do a good luck to the middle school wrestlers this weekend. That's all I have.
Questions? Thank you, Michaela. Riley?
Just want to congratulate our students who participated in the regional spelling bee this past weekend in Rapid City. We also had really, really good parent-teacher conferences. We had the most parents take our survey. We had about 80. And we kind of talked about our CNA program with parent engagement. So for instance, do you feel comfortable approaching your child, teacher with questions or concerns? And it was 98%. So we have a lot of people that are really comfortable with going to our teachers. Our teachers are doing a really, really good job of communicating with parents, good, bad, indifferent. So we got a lot of really good data off of it. So it was really good, really good. And then sports-wise, we got a lot of tournaments that were won by some of our wrestling teams, especially our boys and our girls this last weekend. And then we got regions coming up for all of our sports, wrestling this weekend, and girls and boys basketball. So we'll be staying busy these next couple weeks.
Any questions? Thank you, Riley. You should have Amy's, I think she's at the meeting today. You should have hers in your documents. Anybody have any questions from hers that we can answer? No. Okay. Joe?
Well, our 22-23 audit should be done shortly, pretty soon. They have to by law have it to us by March 31st, but I expect it to be coming shortly, and I'll show it to you guys. And I'll be starting the 24-25 budget.
Keep you busy. Keep you busy. Any questions? Joe? Okay. Item number 102. Need a motion to accept the following resignations effective at the end of the 2023-2024 school year. Karen Getzinger, elementary counselor. Kiana Hodson, elementary instructor. Hannah York, elementary paraprofessional. Carol Rissy, middle school instructor. Craig Cabron, high school principal. And Riley Donovan, elementary principal.
Refuse. So moved.
Motion by Scott, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dallas. Discussion.
I'd just like to say the Bennett County School District would like to thank all these staff members for their years of service and wish them well in their future endeavors.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 103. Need a motion to surplus the following technology equipment. 3 iPads outdated, 8 Chromebooks outdated, 1 Promethean board, which is too expensive to repair, 9 MacBooks outdated, and 3 printers outdated.
So moved.
By Josh. Motion by Josh, is there a second? Second by Dallas. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 104, need a motion to appoint a board member to the Board of Equalization. The meeting will be held March 18th, 2024 at 5 p.m. in the city office.
That's the
Not me,
same time as our board meeting.
yes.
And that's where we've run into the conflict before, and they always do it at the same time as our board meetings. But I would like to make a motion to appoint Caleb Lawson.
Is that how that works? That's how that works.
I think the time when I got on it, I missed that February meeting, so. It's
I have a
only right.
motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Alex. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Motion to approve 25 days from sick leave bank days for Lana Johnson.
So moved.
Motion by Dallas. Do I have a second?
Josh.
Or Josh. Oh, Josh made the motion? Yeah.
Second.
Dallas second. Discussion.
It has gone through the process.
Pardon?
Just making sure it's gone through the process.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 106, that is to set our date, but that is.
We don't have to change it.
We don't have
I don't
to
think there's any conflicts.
Other than the board of equalization.
change. Right.
Yeah.
And that's just next door, so.
Yeah.
She can go to that.
So, do you want to move it till 6?
We have, we have the lot on the agenda.
No, I don't think we'll be allowed.
We go 5:30 to 6 this morning. Ooh. I think she's got bills too.
We can take care of that for her.
You heard that. I want that.
Well, I did last month's for Dallas and this month's for me. I just won't go for the 3 feet.
I'd say let's move it to 6. That way, we'll have an hour over there.
Yeah. Okay,
You
then,
want to make a motion?
I need a motion to set the date and time for the March board meeting for March 18th, 2024 at 6 p.m.
So moved.
in the library community room.
So moved.
Motion by Josh, second.
Second.
Second by Dallas. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
You guys let Kayla know. that she's-
Okay, item number 107. I need a motion to enter into executive session for personnel matters pursuant to SDCL 1-25-21, student issues pursuant to SDCL 1-25-22 negotiations, pursuant to SDCL 1-25-24 legal issues pursuant to SDCL 1-25-23. Motion by Dallas. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Josh. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We are into executive session.
So you guys adjourned, like, without letting us
it's
know,
done. We're adjourned.
without telling anybody
Telling anybody what?
that you came out of executive session?
We're still in executive.
We're still talking
No.
about that. Yeah.
The other board members said you guys
We're
came out,
We are out.
Yeah, we're out of executive session, and a motion was
Motion
made to
to
adjourn.
adjourn. Yep.
but the public wasn't, not to
Meeting's
the
over.
public?
We just got done. We just got done.
Right, but the public should have been
We
aware.
just got done. We're done. We're done. I'm telling you right now, we're done.
Well,
Okay.
thank you,
Okay.
sir. I appreciate your kindly manner.
Thank you.